Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. I have an experience for you, and it's going to be a really good experience. And I know it's spring, but it's always ready and ripe and time for the autumn experience. And Autumn joins us right now. She is a spiritual life coach. Hey, Autumn, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve. How are you this morning? Thanks for having me.
Doing fantastic. Now you're in the Michigan area. How's the weather down there?
Actually, currently I'm in California, but from what I hear, it's still a little chilly. So, the spring is kind of taking its time to come up, but it's coming.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing in the New York metro area where we are. It's actually going to be warm tomorrow, up to like 70. Yeah, so we'll take that.
Good job. Yeah.
Makes you feel good once gives you that like new energy to move forward and do things, unless you lack the confidence to do those things.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. Self-confidence, how to build that up, because it holds back so many people. You might not even know that you have issues with self-confidence, but you know that you're not moving forward on your path, whatever your path is. And that could be a personal one, a professional one. It's always that one thing that's just
it just kind of carry in so many various ways with self-confidence. Self-confidence will actually motivate you. It will keep you focused. It will actually keep you from kind of steering off the path that you're supposed to be on. So if you understand your self-confidence and you build on that, you can create anything. You can create whatever stability, whatever focus you desire.
Why do you think that we have issues with confidence? Does it go back to like childhood? Where does it come from?
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we need to understand is that when you are challenged with your self-confidence, the best thing to do is to reflect, and I know I say that a lot, is to reflect on your childhood, your environment. And once you really get an understanding of that, regardless if it was good or bad, just really understanding why you feel the way that you do, then I think that's when you can actually challenge those obstacles that's keeping you from finding the confidence within yourself. I have clients that actually experience a turmoil in their childhood and they feel that they overcame it. But when it comes to self-confidence and the things that they want to do now, they find it hard to stay focused. And I feel that those are the moments that you are triggered. And triggering is really just an unconscious way of remembering the things that you experienced as a child. And those feelings kind of resurface. So when those feelings resurface, then you kind of get this anxiety not to move forward because of fear of being judged, or that feeling that you actually experienced as a child. And environments has a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, it's so true. And in terms of moving forward, a lot of times we procrastinate. Like in our brain, we don't want to say that we lack the confidence. We just say, put it off till tomorrow. Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, at some point, I'll move it. I'll do it. I have these ideas, but you don't act on them because you just feel that you're going to fail. And I think that's a lot of it. You feel the fear of failure.
Absolutely. That actually is a core issue with a lot of the things that we kind of procrastinate on and we take our time on because of that fear of failing. When you seed your mind with the thought of failing or being judged or it not turning out exactly how you perceived, then right there is self-sabotaging from you actually reaching the goals that you need to reach. And what I do is I really kind of focus in on that, where when you get triggered, is to understand it and actually face it directly within you. A lot of us look for validation outside of ourselves, and we talked about that before. But when you remove the validation and you understand that this is me, this is something I need to work on, and I know why it's happening. So what am I going to do about it to move forward?
It's so true. And I know you work with a lot of people and they probably encounter the same kind of situation where they feel stuck, like in a rut and don't really know how to navigate it, how to really move it forward. How do you work with people like that?
You know what? Actually, by parallel of experiences that I've actually experienced. When I first started this business, again, my career was in something totally different. And when I decided I wanted to do this because it was a passion of mine, I had self-doubts. Oh my God, you're focusing something else, but you're gonna do this. How is it gonna turn out? You're wondering who's gonna judge you because you actually relay it to other people and they don't give you that optimism that you thought that they would. So, you get that, I don't know, maybe you should think about it. At that point, I think this is where the spiritual meat come in. You have to believe in yourself. If nobody else believes in you, everybody else belief in you really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So once you hone in on the fact that this is a passion of mine, take the time out of it. That's the biggest thing. A lot of us take something that we desire and we put a time frame on it. Well, this is not happening yet, so maybe this is not meant for me. You do not have control over destiny. Destiny is within the spiritual hands of your belief in you. So once you remove the focus off of the time frame, the expectations, and coming up with the narrative, then you reinstill the power to believe in yourself. And again, that's how you overcome not having confidence within you.
I have one project that I haven't done in like 2 years.
Steve.
I'm not kidding. And I put it on the back burner. I even built out a website. I know in my gut it's going to succeed. I just haven't moved it forward. And part of it is, I don't know. I have the confidence to do it, but I guess I don't want to fail at it. Like I know it's going to be good and I want to make it good. And I don't want to half do it, but I haven't pushed it there. And guess what? Somebody else started doing the same idea. And that was my validation. All right, jerk, you need to move forward because it's a big country. There's room for competition everywhere. But that was the validation. Like you should have. And I only found this out a couple of months ago.
And with that, Steve, and I love that you mentioned that because the thing is that it's a lot of people out here doing spiritual and motivational coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Sure.
It's only one of me. It's only one of you.
You're right. You're totally right.
Exactly. So when you believe in your crown, when you believe in your throne, regardless of who else is doing it, they have their platform, you have yours. That's their journey. This is your journey. So when you find that you procrastinate, then that's when you need to self-check. That's really what it boils down to. You have to self-check yourself and understand that nothing will move forward if you don't put the gas in the car, if you don't put your foot on the pedal. And you'll always have regret of what you should have done. I missed the opportunity. Oh, somebody else is doing it. So maybe it doesn't make sense for me to do it. Well, ask yourself, why is that? Do you think that person better than you?
No.
That's something.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I think part of it is, and maybe this helps everybody else. I don't have a plan. I have it in my head. I need to commit it to screen or paper in terms of what's left. I've done this, but I haven't done this. And I need to really kind of figure out the infrastructure to make this business idea work, but I haven't really committed it and I need to. That's what's holding me back.
Steve, I'm loving you to death, sunshine, but I'm gonna have to challenge you because it sounds like you're overthinking it. The thing is that I think you need to actually just one step at a time. Do one thing at a time, not necessarily a time frame, because again, I like to take the time out of what you desire and what you're trying to plan, but at least move one step. I did the same thing. I first took the classes to get a more of an understanding of the things I'm doing with coaching itself. Mm-hmm. I instilled the knowledge that I needed for me, and I just did one thing at a time. Not saying that my plan is the best plan. I'm just telling you my experience.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that instead of you overthinking it, I think you just need to take your time and just start. You will feel so much better. You'll feel so much elevated in your focus in this project because you're at least taking the steps and remove the fact of comparing yourself to someone else. I know that you are very comfortable within your skin. I love your spirit. But I think at this point, you need to self-reflect and kind of believe in your spirit just a little bit more.
I think
start working on a plan. Yeah.
I think you're right. And it's funny. I'm a big recent believer in my journey of the universe.
Yes.
Okay. And I think it was the universe that was calling, saying, somebody's already doing this idea. Why aren't you? It was almost like a, hello, let's get going on this.
Exactly. And they're ringing the doorbell now because we're bringing it up today. So
right. Let's talk now. You focus on spiritual coaching. Define spiritual. And we might have talked about this before, but I feel a lot of people connect that word to religion, but it's really not.
No, it's not.
It can be, but it doesn't have to
It
be.
It can be.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with my spirituality, I still read the Bible a lot because, again, the Bible to me is a reference of experiences of spirituality. And with religion, to me, I defined it. I used to go to church every Sunday with my family, but I define religion as a resource that actually tells you what to do. Spirituality, you do what you feel you need to do, if that makes sense.
It really does.
Yes. So when you feel it, you're more trusting in what you're being guided in. And you're more open to hear the intuition guiding you in a different way. A lot of people, they had this hunch, but they don't know where it comes from. They see different things and it's kind of relative to what they're thinking about. And it's just like, well, that's kind of weird. But no, actually, it's not weird. That's your intuition. That's actually guiding you in a certain way. A lot of us look to be guided from energies outside of us. And I think that's where religion come in. There's nothing wrong with religion, but again, you need to have that within you. What if the churches is closed like the COVID and a lot of people wasn't able to attend? Yeah, you got the Bible and, you could listen to other people, but at some point you need to kind of hold in what you have seated in your mind, in your heart, and you move forward with that and understand that God is not only outside of you, but he's within you.
Yep. We all believe in different things. I do go to church. I try to go every Sunday.
Yes.
And it's not just the religious experience. Sometimes the message, like one message, weeks ago, was a little bit at a time. Little changes make the big change. That doesn't have to be equated to religion. That's just in general.
Exactly.
It's just the message that you pull from it. And if you want to go deeper levels, you can. I'll be honest, I don't think I could deeply read the Bible. I would get, forgive me for saying this, bored. It's not in my wheelhouse. I don't absorb it the same exact way, but I feel that there's something there for me, and that's it. That's why I go. And it's
exactly.
It's a positive feeling.
Here's the thing. What I've noticed that I've done in the past is that when I first started reading the Bible, that was my same reason too. It's like, I need something that's going to gravitate me and keep my attention because I feel like I'm a little flowery, a little, airy. So what I've done is that whatever I was feeling at that moment, whatever word that kind of stood out that would explain what I was thinking at that moment, I would put it in relative to the Bible and find a scripture there. And I feel like you would connect. Again, everything in divine order. If you understand and you believe in a higher power, then the information will come to you because the energy knows that you're open to receive. You understand what I'm saying? If
Sure.
You're not open to receive, like you just said, you got the message. What was the message that you got last week when you?
Little changes make a big change. And it seemed to be the common thread. Little changes make big changes. And I mean, it's kind of, an obvious thing, but it was hammered in and it kind of made, I'm still talking about it. It was an impression, like, instead of trying to get from here to here, you gotta take the time to get there.
Yeah, Steve, you know why I'm smiling at you? Because again, you heard that message last week and you're talking about this project and you say it keep hammering in. Again, that's intuition being brought to you in front of you to let you know a little at a time, so I take stuff like that and I'd allow it to motivate me. And I trusted it, even though sometimes you don't understand it, especially when you analytical, and you look at things and you want things to be perfect. Well, that's the whole thing about the universe in spirituality is releasing the notion that everything has to be perfect. The divine order is already set out for you. The story is already made for you. It's up to you to believe in it and just live in the now and trust in it and move with good intentions. If you're moving with good intentions, everything will fall into place as it should.
Yep. Good intentions is it. And I firmly believe do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And I know some people that don't do the right thing. And I even try to remind them, just do the right thing. It will come back to you, and you shouldn't do the right thing just for that. And whatever comes back to you could be prosperity, could be whatever you're looking for.
Exactly. But all of it is a lesson.
Yeah. We didn't mean to get religious here.
No. But the thing is, it's kind of good that you touch bases on that, because a lot of people look at spirituality as mystical. It's mystical, but it's not in the form of for you to be uncomfortable with it, because you can still be religious and still commit to a religion, but at the same time, it's the same concept. And even for the people who actually move with intentions that's questionable, again, a lot of people are looking at timing. That's the reason why a lot of people actually make the decisions that they do with good or bad intentions. And you have to understand, darkness will always give you what you desire right at that moment. It will give it to you faster. But when you move with good intentions, the light will always teach you patience, and it will come to you and it will stay with you for a longevity. People need to understand that, and you got to take out the time.
Interesting. Like the negative intentions, it's almost like the quick fix. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't, implemented good intentions, but you got the reward. But you missed the whole lesson, the biggest reward of whatever is being gifted to you at that moment.
It's so true. I want to remind everybody that this is the Autumn Experience. She is Autumn. She's a spiritual life coach and get you on the path to where you want to go. Define spiritual life coach.
Well, again, you hear me. I always talk about intentions and believing in yourself and a higher power. Life coach is that I can walk with you. And if you're open to explore, what we do is just kind of hone in on the understanding that you have a purpose in this realm. Understand that there are other dimensions, but you have a purpose, and you need to open up and be open to see the lessons and see how you're being guided today. I understand it has everything to do with your yesterday, your tomorrow, and your right now. And so life coaching, of course, that's really supporting you, motivating you, kind of helping you see what you need to see for you to move forward in the things that you're trying to achieve. But spirituality is understanding that there's always someone watching over you. There's always someone that's trying to guide you in the right way. If you understand that, then I think you're more conscious of understanding that there is a higher power. Everyone has a higher power. Everyone has a throne. Everyone has a crown. It's up to you to claim it and sit where you belong, and that's on your throne.
I know some people might be hearing that and thinking, oh, come on, but it's true. We do have a life purpose. We're here for a reason. We were given gifts. Wherever we got the gifts from, that's up for debate.
Yes, that's up for debate.
We don't have to go there.
No.
When you think about it, what gifts do you bring to other people? What do you have to offer? And a lot of times, maybe we haven't identified what those gifts are. And that's sometimes the biggest challenge.
It is. The thing is that especially with the times today, everything is competition. Everything is driven by trends. And so it's kind of hard for you to judge when energy is coming towards you that's genuine. You always thinking there's some type of underlining, motive behind the energy that's coming towards you. But when you settle in your mind that you move with good intentions, that you always protect it, you're always guided. It will give you the enlightenment to recognize when something is not genuine, but it'll also allow you to open up to accept what's destined for you without an understanding of it. I've had plenty of things to happen, and it's like, I never intended for that to happen, but it was a beautiful experience. And because I'm on the journey that I'm on, I accept it with gratitude. And it allowed me to be accountable for actually being able to love me first, instead of always putting other things and other people and other situations before me, thinking that's the best thing. But really, the best thing is to love you first. And, I
Mhm.
talk about that a lot. Love you first so you can receive the gifts that's destined for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes when things don't go the way they should be, you just need to accept them. It is what it is. I hate to use that cliche, but some things you
No,
can't
it's
change.
no, you can't. And that's a beautiful analogy because the thing is that if something goes wrong, then it was something that you missed. It was a lesson that you didn't quite get. And once you understand that, you won't look at it as a disappointment. It's more of a epiphany moment, of an aha moment. You know what? Now I understand why that probably didn't go as well, but I got it now.
But little thought that I have, and I'll share, and maybe you can and relate to it, is that you need to take the time to look for the signs. What's going on around you, the way people react to you. We're always so crazy, busy, moving fast, got to go here, got to get this done. But when you really talk to people and look for things, you'll find them. And those are answers to maybe within your future, your life.
Absolutely. Because a lot of those lessons, they actually come in different forms that you don't understand. Again, is mysterious, but
Yeah.
at the same time, is such a beautiful gift because you can encounter somebody that's an absolute stranger, and they can start to tell you what's going on with them, and you can 100% relate. But if you always moving and you're concerned with what's going on around you, and you're in competitive mode, you don't have the time to really relate and really listen to what's going on around you, which can be the biggest lesson in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. You're gonna miss it. And I'm the biggest skeptic of all of this. I am. You got to prove it to me. And then it's been proven a number of times in things that I've seen, signs that I've gotten. And by the way, I've asked for signs. I was like, show me a sign. Let me, universe, come on. What do you got? And then I've seen him like, oh, all right. I'm
Okay.
not reading it. I'm not looking at the sign saying, yeah, I read into that. No, it was legit. Like
Exactly.
it was like the real deal
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful experience when you're open
when you're open.
like that. A lot of people, they ask me, what makes you so happy? You always smiling and speaking, because energy is exchangeable. Someone could be having a bad day and conflicted and really don't understand why they feel the way that they do.
Mm.
But my energy coming in, speaking to them, and actually a genuine wanting to know how's your day and saying hello can actually change their whole perception of what's going on in their life at that moment.
Oh yeah.
And once you move in that way, everything else is moving extremely fast around you, but you just gliding, just floating, because you're moving with good intentions, and everything that's destined for you is going to happen for you. Why? If everyone had that experience and that understanding, do you know how beautiful this world would be?
Yeah.
How beautiful it would be.
It's so true. I want you to tell everybody if they need some guidance, how it works with you. Do you have a free discovery call? They reach out to Autumn for the Autumn experience. How does it all work?
Yes, they visit my website, www.autumnexperience.com, and I offer a free consultation. You actually submit the form on my website. It comes directly to me. I reach out to you and we set up an appointment where we can talk so we can get acquainted. Because again, I need for you to connect with me, not just this promo to get a client. I want you to connect with me because this is my real purpose. And my purpose is to see you fulfill every desire you have in your mind. If it's for you, it's going to happen. I just need you to believe in it.
And you're going to help somebody connect with it if they're not connecting in their
Absolutely.
head. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Quick story. This just popped in my head and we have a second left, but I wanted to share it. I just
Okay.
go through life in my journey now. And like I said, I try to do the right thing. I went to a fundraiser yesterday. A friend of mine was part of the fundraiser, and I was able to help raise some money for it just through connections that I have, and I was happy about that. I was having a okay day. Figured I'd show up.
Okay.
I start talking to the wife of a guy who I know, and he was busy working, and she and I connected and talked about my journey, and she made such an impact. And I said, you made my day. Like the things that you're saying, and I feel that was maybe validation for I'm trying to do the right thing. And then she kind of out of nowhere, we started talking. I don't even know who she is. It was just like a random thing, but it was like kind of a beautiful moment. Like she just was there, and it's like, you just made me feel better about a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, Steve, come on. We just need to work together. You got it. The answer right there. I need you to come on board with me. Absolutely. That's the energy that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're guided, and once you make a connection, it's destined for it to happen, especially when you're moving with good intentions. It could be life-changing for that moment, for a lifetime. But once you open to it, you will attract it and it will come to you.
But I didn't even realize it. I was just doing my thing, showing up. That's it. And then as we're talking about it now, I was like, you know what? She was there, I think, for a reason.
Absolutely.
I needed to talk to her at that time. And the music was blaring and loud, and we, you could hardly hear each other, but the message was there. And she was just a good person, good soul at that moment.
See?
You never know what's going to happen. You got to be open to it, though.
Exactly. You got to be open to it.
Yeah. Autumn, always great talking with you. And we don't even have a plan. We just start talking.
And sometimes that's just okay. We reached somebody today. So I believe in that. I thank you for having me today.
And that's what it's all about. All right. All the best to you. God bless. And I look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Okay. Bye, Steve.
Bye. We'll be back right after this.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.